Hello, and welcome to the Black Key Ditty Bop, having fun with keyboards from day one. I'm Jamie Zachary Fox, your host, here to help you with your first steps to becoming a musician, something that will bring you joy and others pleasure. This video is for the total beginner, everyone who doesn't yet know the basics of music or doesn't yet play a musical instrument, but wants to, especially everyone interested in keyboards. So, are you ready to learn a tune? To pick up the basics of counting and melody? We'll make up a song. Call it the Black Key Ditty Bop, and we'll start at the beginning. Music is all about patterns. Patterns of sound, patterns of thought, patterns of finger movement, and patterns of visualizations, all in the service of pleasing our ears or our bodies when we wish to dance. Starting with the visual aspect, look at a keyboard as if you've never seen one before. Now, focusing on only the black keys, notice the pattern, a set of 3 black keys alternating with a set of 2, or 2 alternating with a set of 3. You could also look at the keys as a repeating pattern of 5 black keys, 3 plus 2 or 2 plus 3. Our playing will use a pattern of 5 keys, the 3 plus 2 pattern, using just those notes, and then you're already playing what's called a pentatonic scale. That's a scale that contains 5 tones. This scale we will repeat up and down the keyboard. Using this pattern of 5 keys, we're mainly going to focus on the top key, the key on the right of the set of 2. For the curious, that's called an E-flat note. Now, on to more about music. More than just patterns, music has a pulse. This heartbeat of sound is the essence of music. Pop tunes, symphonies, raps, marches, even requiems all have a pulse. This is the beat. The speed of these beats is called the tempo. Much of music is in what is called 4/4 time. For now, that will mean for us a repeating pattern of 4 beats. This group of 4 beats we'll call a measure. We'll practice counting measures as a 4-beat pattern. Practice counting and clapping at the same time. Don't go too fast. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, let's add emphasis by accentuating the 1 of the count, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Listen carefully as the accent on the beat makes it louder. It stands out. That's the downbeat. It happens on a 1. So let's start by keeping a beat on the keyboard. Metronomes are your friend. Remember Morse Code, dots and dashes? Visualize that, 1 dash followed by 3 equally spaced dots. That is like 4/4 time with the accent on the 1. Here, the pulse is also felt because the note at 1 is longer, as well as louder. So those at 2 and 3 and 4. For example, and you now know how to create an emphasis by both loudness and by note length within a measure. Notice the pattern that is repeating here. Every 4 beats, there's a new measure. Each note gets 1 beat. They're called quarter notes. Keeping a beat is a fundamental skill, and for most people, it takes a while to learn. The secret to success is to start small, go slow, and focus most on getting it right. Giving it enough time, it'll make your future much easier. Despite the beauty of the beat and the power of the downbeat, music needs something more than just a pulse. It needs rhythm. Simply said, rhythm means a repeating pattern of sound, typically by the percussion and bass. This signifies the category of the musical piece. That's how you can tell the difference between a rock and a reggae song, for instance. They accent different beats. That shows up as distinct rhythms. For now, rhythm will just mean a pattern of accented beats. Let's practice our first rhythm. One quick way to feel a rhythm is to chant a phrase while simultaneously clapping. Clap only where the syllables occur. Keep silent all other times. Follow the repeating pattern. For example, let's chant the phrase Black Key Ditty Bop as you clap. You'll hear a 1, 2, 3, and 4 rhythm. The and introduces the eighth note. It takes 8 of those to fill a measure. The eighth note is 1/2 as long as a quarter note. So let's try counting this out. So it'd be Black Key Ditty Bop. Black Key Ditty Bop. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Black Key Ditty Bop. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's try that now turning to the keyboard. We're using the rightmost key of the set of 5, an E-flat note. Play separated keys in the 1, 2, 3, and 4 rhythm. Let's add a second rhythm. Here we'll chant and clap to the phrase, having fun from day one. Notice the syllables sort of naturally accent as 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Having fun from day one. Having fun from day one. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Let's put some more space between the notes, making a simple melody 4 measures long. That means we're going to make a melody that is 16 beats long. It has 3 measures of the first rhythm plus 1 measure of the second rhythm. Now it's time to make a song. Songs have various elements, an intro, a verse, a chorus, a bridge, a coda, and so on. Simply, for now, you're going to have an intro of 1 measure, a verse of 4 measures, and then a 1 measure coda or end. We'll play the verse as many times as you wish. I'll play it twice. Now you have a song you can play, and you know how it's constructed and how it's organized. It comes down to patterns of notes on tops of patterns of beats, melody atop rhythm. For now, stay with the black keys. Variation is another essential aspect of music. For example, within the same general patterns, change 1 or 2 items, perhaps a note or an accent, but not so much that your original pattern becomes lost. Let's play Black Key Ditty Bop with a variation on the ditty part. Now we'll add an additional part to the song by adding the right hand playing chords. A chord means playing multiple notes simultaneously. It's harmony. And that's it. That's your lesson on how to have fun with keyboards right away. You can now go on to any keyboard and have something to play, something to practice. Musically, you now have something to say. Okay, let's put this all together. Here's what you've learned. To appreciate the patterns in music, to count the beats of a 4/4 measure, to create a rhythm matched to a phrase or a lyric, to play notes from the black keys to the rhythm you came up with, to make a song, to add variation, and to know key musical terms to help your understanding as you learn more. Now what? Here's a suggestion on how to approach your next 2 weeks. First and foremost, practice every day, only for 5 minutes, but every day with the explicit intention of learning or improving something specific. 5 minutes a day are enough to get started. Seriously, small periods of frequent practice will help you much more than occasional longer practices when you're getting started. Pick something and focus on it. The next day, focus on a different thing. Keep it varied. So in your session, you could practice counting to yourself, or especially to other music you're hearing, or keeping a beat along with a metronome app, or accenting the downbeat, or starting with a mental phrase, or a favorite lyric, and clap or tap out a rhythmic phrase that fits. Or you can add a melodic variation to your song by changing some notes. Or you could add a rhythmic variation to your song by changing some of the accents. And whatever song you have written and composed for yourself, play it at least twice. Here's some helpful hints as you learn to play. Watch your hands, but keep your eyes moving. Don't fixate unless you're repeatedly practicing a specific passage. Remain mindful by staying attentive to your counting. Practice not letting your mind wander and focusing on the counting of the music. Practice at becoming physically relaxed. A relaxed posture, relaxed hands, relaxed fingers. Go slowly, learn things the right way, and always seek to improve the sound. Please note that we have not even scratched the surface. Key musical fundamentals remain to be uncovered for you, including key signatures, which talk about the tonal center of your piece, the time signature, which is really the number of beats per measure, and the kind of note that gets one beat. It's not always 4. It's not always quarter notes. Articulation are the types of sounds that can be made on an instrument, like a hammer-on or a pull-off or a bend on a guitar, or a bow up or a bow down on a violin. Harmony, like chords, when you're playing multiple notes simultaneously. Counterpoint, patterns of contrast, typically counter melodies, playing while a lead melody is also playing. Timbre, which is the signature of a sound. That's how an acoustic guitar sounds different from a trumpet, different from an oboe, different from a pipe organ. Those are different timbres. For the curious, the reason why this lesson used only black keys is because they stick up, they're easy to reach, and more importantly, they're separated from each other. In most cases, melodies sound better when adjacent notes are avoided. Also for the curious, the key signature for black Key Ditty Bop music was in 4/4 time in the key of E flat minor. That's 6 flats. And that's it. Thank you very much for viewing. I'm Jamie Zachary Fox, and I hope this helps you on your path to becoming a musician. Music is a gift forever.